ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् आत्मानम् अखिलाधारम् आश्रयेऽभीष्टसिद्धये अर्थतोऽपि अद्वयानन्दान् अतीतद्वैतभानतः गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्त सारं वक्ष्ये यथामतिः. Okay, so where were we?
We completed verse 83, Swamiji.
Okay. Okay. We saw the topic that we are seeing rather is on the extensions of ignorance, right? How much, because of this vikshepaha, the projection, how much is the sense of the I extended to? How much is the whole creation about? So, seeing that, he says, we had come up to the Panchapranas, completed the Panchapranas also. We saw a little bit more in detail, yeah. Then he is saying, any questions or clarification before we go ahead, or is it clear? All clear?
Swamiji, I had just one question regarding the Tanmatras.
That is Karthik, right?
Yes, Swamiji.
Karthik, tell me, what is it?
I had a question regarding the Tanmatras.
Yeah.
On the one hand it says Akasha, Vayu, Agni, and there's the sequence there. But then I think it also suggests that the Tanmatras are all kind of building blocks that they kind of come together. I mean, I'm just a little confused whether it's a sequential or they all come together.
One second. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, as the first material to come out after the Maya Shakti, okay, what you call as a material will be Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. Okay. These are, in the way we look at creation, the building blocks for the universe and for the individual bodies as well. So now, this has a twofold aspect to it. One functioning in its pure state as Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, and the other when they are in a grossified state. So the pure state is called Tanmatras. Tad matram, only that, nothing else. So Akasha is only Akasha. Panchikaranam, as we will see later, is a process of grossification where Akasha is 50% Akasha, 50% the other elements. So it's a period of grossification. So when you say Tanmatras, the Tanmatras are important because all the subtle things will come out of the Tanmatras. Like your mind, etc. As we have been seeing. Yeah. Okay. Even Rajas, all the prana, etc. that we have seen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then he says, Kechittu, some people says, Nag, Kurma, Krikala, Devadatta, Dhananjaya, Kya, Pancha, Anye, Vayavaha, Santi, iti vadanti. Some people say that there are also other pranas like Naga, Kurma, Karkala, Devadatta and Dhananjaya. Now what do they function? Okay. These are all minor functions. Okay. Tatra Nagaha Udgira Karnaha. Naga is functioning when you are throwing up. When you are throwing up stuff from your stomach, it is called, some people may have done it during Diwali. Especially all night card parties and all the stuff that goes in with that. Okay. Udgira karna. Kurmaha unmeelakarnaha. Kurma is closing and opening the eyelids, etc. Krikalaha kshutkaraha. Krikalaha creates hunger, adding to the Jataragni. Okay, Devadattaha Jimbrannakaraha. Devadatta produces yawning even when you are not sleepy. Okay. Dhananjayaha Poshanakaraha. Dhananjaya helps in nourishing of the body. So another 5 pranas are mentioned. Okay. Now these pranas you will look into only when you are looking to it for Ayurvedic treatment and things like that. Okay. For other purposes he says, Etesham pranadishuhu antarbhavat pranadaya pancheveti kechit. Others are of the opinion, he says, that all these are included into the 5 main pranas anyway. All these are only some functional aspects. They are all included into the main pranas. So let us take the pranas as pancha only. In fact, one prana, 5-fold functioning. Okay. So he says, don't bother about this, the subsidiary 5 that he mentioned. They are subsidiary pranas. Okay. Yeah. Etat pranadi panchakam akashyadi gataha rajo amshabhyaha militebhya utpadyate. These 5 pranas are born from the total rajas aspect of the 5 prana, of the Akashadi, the Tanmatras. Akashadi Tanmatras. From Sattvic aspect, individually, the 5 sense organs came. Together, Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara came. From Rajas, individually, Pancha Karma Indriya came. From the total aspect, Pancha Pranas come. Because the pranas has to back up all the organs, all the systems. Therefore, they are totally produced. Okay. Idam pranadi panchakam karmendrihi sahitam sat pranamaya koshaha bhavati asya kriyatmakatvena rajomsha karyatvat. This pranadi panchakam, pancha pranas, along with karmendrihi sahitam, karmendriyas, pranamaya koshaha bhavati. They are called pranamaya koshaha. The others went into vijnanamaya and manomaya. This is pranamaya. Okay, pranamaya koshaha bhavati. Asya kriyatmakatvena rajamsha karyatvat. They are all focused on action because they are born of rajas. Predominantly rajas, born of rajas. Therefore, they are called as kriyatmakam. They are kriyatmakam. Okay, of the function of actions. So now you have knowledge, you have actions. Correct? Pure consciousness. Through only Maya, it is called Anandamaya Kosha. Only, no, what this disturbance is from whom? I had to join with my phone, so I don't have the global view.
Join with my phone, so I don't have the global view. Alright. थोड़ा टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम. हाँ. वो सुषमा ना बात कर रही थी ना, लेकिन उसकी बिट होती खोला.
Okay, I think now this will be better because I muted everyone. If any of you want to talk, you'll have to unmute yourself. Okay? Yeah. Because too much of racket happening. Okay. All right. So this is the condition. Anandamaya Kosha, Vijnanamayam, Manomayam taken care of. Your Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, internal this, with the sense or internal sense organs. Then Pancha Pranas, internal organs of action, your kinesthetic body taken care of. Now look at it, how the whole thing is being framed up. Okay? We started with the individual. Consciousness manifesting through Sattva, Rajas, Tamas first creates Akashadi Vayu, the 5 Tanmatras. From there, Anandamaya Kosha, because Maya Shakti, Anandamaya Kosha first, sorry. After Anandamaya Kosha, then you have the Tanmatras coming up. The 5 Panchabhutas coming up, 5 Bhutas coming up. Out of them, now internal setup is created. Mano, Buddhi, Chittam, Ahankaram. Jnanendriyas. Pancha Pranas. Karmendriyas. All this is still at the subtle level. So as it is in the individual level, so also it will be at the total level. Okay, now you are set. But for action and for getting things, you need a physical universe. This much functioning will be only subtle universe. This much will be only at the subtle universe level, not at the physical universe level. Yeah. At the physical level, now you have got it. Physical level, you are yet to get it. Only at the subtle level, you have got it up to now. All right. Then what? All right. Eteshu kosheshu madhye, among the 5 koshas, Vijnanamayaha Jnana Shaktiman Kartra Rupaha. It's Vijnanamaya kosha, that is Jnana Shaktiman, capable of knowledge. Therefore, Kartra Rupaha, in the nature of Karta. After all, your Ahankara is nothing but a concept based on your functioning knowledge. Your functioning knowledge is gained because of Sattva. And from Sattva, the Vijnanamaya Kosha has come into it. Therefore, Kartrutvam Bhavati. Manomayaha Icchat Shaktiman Karanarupaha. Manomaya Kosha is predominantly what? Iccha Shaktiman. Iccha, emotions, etc. But now you are focusing on the Iccha aspect. Iccha, desire. And therefore becomes the Karanam, the instrument. I am the doer. But what is it through which the doer will function? That is called Karanam, Iccha Shakti. You are the knower sitting down quietly in your room. Sunday morning you switch down the TV. Chalo, kya hai dekhega? And you saw an advertisement. Desire is born. So now what does the Karta think? I must get that. So Iccha became the Karanam for the Karta to do something. The means. Karanam means instrument. Means. The means to do. Because without desire, where is action? You can know a lot of things. You know so many things that are there in the world. You don't want all of them. One particular desire comes, then you say, okay, I can do something about it. Therefore, Iccha Shaktiman Karana Rupaha. Pranamayaha Kriya Shaktiman Karya Rupaha. Whereas Prana Shakti is the Pranamaya Kosha is Kriya Shaktiman. Is that one that will actually do the action. Therefore, it is called Karya Rupa. Why Karya Rupam? Karya is not exactly effect here. Okay? But it is taken closer to the effect. Therefore, it's called Karya Rupa. Okay. Okay. योगत्वात् एतदेवं एतेषां विभागः इति varnayanti. Okay. See, this division is made just so that it's appropriate for functioning, he says. Etet koshatraya militam smuksha shariram iti uchyate. These three koshas together is called your sukshma sharira. Your sukshma sharira is with all the three koshas. That is Vijnanamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha and Pranamaya kosha. What will be Anandamaya kosha? What will what sharira? Karna shariram, exactly. It will become Karna shariram. Okay. Okay. So up to Sukshma Sharira we have come. Then here also he is pointing out the totality and the individual. Okay? Because that is there at every level. Individual total goes on at all levels. Therefore, atrapi akhila sukshma shariraha eka buddhi vishayataya vanavat jalashayavad va samashtihi aneka buddhi vishayataya vrikshavad jalavad va vyashtihi api bhavati. So therefore you can look at this as an individual or total. If it is total, it will become like the forest or the lake. Individual will become like the tree or one unit of water. So you will have total Sukshma Sharira will become what? Consciousness manifests the total Sukshma Sharira will become what? Hiranyagarbha. Okay, and the individual? You and me, Taijasa. Okay. Taijasa. Okay, this is how it is. Okay. Therefore, individual, total. Therefore, remember when you say total, your individual is always included into the total. You may have some independent functioning, that does not prevent you from being part of the total. Just like the organs in your body, there is some independent function. But that doesn't mean they're independent of the body. They're all part of the body. No? Therefore, there is an interdependency there also. This interdependency, very often human beings lose sight of. That's why environmental issues, etc. And then the blame game will start. I hope all of you have lit diyas for Diwali. Because next Diwali there is going to be a protest against diyas also. Why? It's contributing to global warming. Antarctica ice is melting because of the Diwali diyas that are lit in India. Okay, so better be careful of that. I'm joking, don't take it seriously, okay? Delhi air quality is poor because of stubble burning, not because of the crackers. Though I am not a fan of crackers, okay? I would say go easy on crackers, okay? Let kids, leave it to the kids, not adults. Okay. All right, okay. Then samashti vekshti bhavati. Okay. Etat samashti upahitam chaitanyam sutratma hiranyagarbha paranaschet uchyate. Therefore, the samashti upahitam chaitanyam gets names. Sutratma. We have come across that. Sutre, Manigana, Eva, etc. Sutratma. The one that connects everything together. Sutratma. Hiranyagarbha, Hiranmayam, Jnanamayam, Hiranmayam. Pranaha is also called Pranaha. Because as far as functioning is concerned, Prana is the most important thing. Therefore, Pranaha. Sarvatra Anusutatvat. Why Sutratma? Sarvatra Anusutatvat. It is in and through all the gross creation. Okay? Jnana Ischa Kriya Shakti Upahitatvatcha. Why these names? Because Jnana Ichcha Kriya Shakti. Therefore, when you say as an individual you have Jnana Kriya Shakti, you have, what we are talking about is you as the Sukshma Sharira, actually speaking. Yeah. Therefore, Kriya Shakti is also in your mind. Kriya Shakti also is in your mind actually. Prana. Prana is the Sukshma Sharira. So all this makes up the Sukshma Sharira. So you can understand now how little the physical body comes into your personality. And all our attention is on the physical body. From Anandamaya Kosha, Vijnanam Manaha Pranaha. So Vijnanam Mana Prana is your Sukshma Sharira. This is your inner reality. If this is fine, 80% of you is fine. But we are focusing only on the 20% that is the body. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Shakti Bhavati. अस्य एषा समष्टिः स्थूल प्रपंच उपक्षय अपेक्ष्य सूक्ष्मत्वात् सूक्ष्म शरीरं विज्ञानमयादि कोशत्रयं जाग्रद् वासनामयत्वात् स्वप्नः अतएव स्थूल प्रपंच लयस्थानम् इति च उच्यते. Okay. All right. Now he says asya samashti. The samashti. Okay. Samashti means what? Totality. Okay. Samashti is totality. Sthula prapancha apeksha sukshmatvat. Because it is with respect to the physical creation subtler, it is the totality is also called Sukshma Shariram. Nanda Kishore is looking lost. Are you okay? If you have to say anything, you have to unmute yourself.
No. Swamiji, I am just keeping that PDF, that in the desktop.
Okay.
I am looking at the verses.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, as samashti is sthula prapanchadi apeksha sukshmatvat sukshma shariram iti uchyate. Vijnanamayadi koshatraya and Vijnanamayadi koshatrayam with respect to the fact that Vijnanadimaya koshatrayam Jagrad Vasanamayatvat. At an individual level, the functioning will depend upon the latent impressions gathered in the waking. It is called Swapnaha. Now, when you are saying Swapnaha, remember one thing. You mean to say the Sukshma for Sharira functions only in Swapna? Does the Sukshma Sharira function only in Swapna?
No. It is always there.
Yeah.
It always functions.
It functions in the waking as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mano.
But if you are saying only Sukshma Sharira functioning, then we will say Swapnaha. Okay? Only that, nothing else. Okay. Therefore, from one standpoint, Swapna is where only the Sukshma Sharira is functioning. Your consciousness of the physical body is not there. That is why we are calling it Swapna. And at the totality, Sthula Prapancha Layasthanam iti uchyate. The resolving point of the physical creation. Resolving point of the physical creation. Yeah. Clear all this? Okay.
Swamiji, the totality, can you please explain it? I didn't get it.
Totality can be?
At the total level, what you said, I didn't understand that.
is a laya sthanam, the resolving point, where the physical creation will be resolved first into the sukshma. See, the idea is this much. If there is a process of the creation being made, then the resolution will be the step by step in reverse order. Therefore, the mind will be the resolving point of the body, that way. Yeah. एतद् व्यष्टि उपहितं चैतन्यं तैजसः भवति तेजोमय अंतःकरण उपहितात्. Therefore, at the individual level, it will be called Taijasah, which was, I have said that before. Total level will be Hiranyagarbha, Prana, etc. Individual level will be called Taijasah. See, for understanding sake, we are making all these divisions, okay? When you are functioning, everything is involved, including your Anandamaya Kosha. Why? Without self-ignorance, there wouldn't be a self-conclusion. The Anandamaya Kosha is also your unconscious. Therefore, all your unconscious impressions are there in the Anandamaya Kosha. Your karma is there in Anandamaya Kosha. Karma impressions are there. They are there in Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Manomayam also. So, the whole thing is involved as one unit. Yeah. Your whole functioning is involved in one unit. For understanding sake, we are making the differences so that we know what to deal with what and how the whole process has come. Why so much of time being spent? One thing is because our minds are caught up in the creation. All the arguments, relationships, deals, wars, peace, everything is at the creation level only. No? What else is your mind caught up with? Yeah. So, to be able to drop that, you need to get it very clear. Oh, this is all that is there. It is only sattva, rajas, tamas at play. Intricate, but that's all that is there. Then it's easier to function. Okay. Easier to drop. Easier to understand what Vedanta is talking about. Okay. Asyapiyam vyashti stula sharira apekshaya. Then from the standpoint of the individual also, from the respect to the stula sharira, it is sukshmam. It is subtler, therefore called sukshma sharira. Sukshma shariram vijnanamayadi koshatrayam jagrad vasanamayatvat swapnaha. Say all the same thing that he told of the individual is talking about the total also. Swapnaha. Sula sharis or Shula Starira Laya Sthanam api uchyate. It is the Laya Sthanam of the Sula Sharira. The Laya Sthanam, the place of resolution for the physical body. Now at the individual level, the resolution is only experiential, like in deep sleep, dream, etc. It is not physically happening. Your physical body is not resolved in the mind, as it will be at the total level. Okay? At the individual level, it is only experiential. Your identification with the physical body is resolved into the mind. Because it can't be resolved anywhere else. If it is resolved anywhere else, tomorrow morning you will not be able to recall it. Yeah. Why? It is resolved somewhere else. I am here. My mind is here, but it is resolved somewhere else. I can't go there to get it. So it has to be resolved in the mind only. It can't be resolved anywhere else. Okay? Yeah. Therefore, okay. Eto sutratma tejaso tadanim manovrittibihi sukshma vrishya anubhavataha pravivikta bhuk tejasa ityadi shrutehe. both the Sutratma, that is Hiranyagarbha, the totality, and Tejasa, the individual, Tadani, Manovrittibihi, by the mental thoughts alone, Sukshma Vishayanubhavata. You are enjoying all the subtle things. All the subtle things. Therefore, Pravivikta Bhog, Tejasa Ityadi, Shrutehe, therefore it gains the name Pravivikta Bhog. Okay. Now, one or two things to be recognized here. Tejasa is a dreamer. What is the reality of your dream world?
Mind.
Pratibhasikam, right? Purely subjective. Pratibhasikam. What about the total level? After death, when you go to a higher loka, are they pratibhasikam? Whichever religion, it doesn't matter. You can look at it globally. Definitely more with the Vedic thought, but even globally if you look at it. If there is Swarga, heaven, etc., has it to be pratibhasikam or vyavaharikam? Sunita is saying vyavaharikam. What about the others?
Vyavaharikam.
Why not pratibhasikam?
Because you take on another body there for
Because
exhausting
it depends
your
on the karma also.
Yeah.
Because there is a functional validity. Everyone who goes there is seeing heaven. Though it will not be exactly like how it has been described in the scriptures. Okay, keep that in mind also. Because all scriptural descriptions will have to be in keeping with your culture and your religious thought. Okay. It has to be keeping with culture and religious thought. No, it can't be divorced from that. How else are you going to present it? It has to be presented in the way the common man will understand. Yeah, like there is a nice joke here, A couple was going to get married. So they were in a car going to get married. And they met with a car accident and both of them died. And went up to the pearly gates. They are waiting for the Lord to finish all the paperwork, so they again go in. Paperwork will be there, okay? Why? It's an organization, yeah. They're waiting all that. So then when Saint Peter comes out and says, okay, wait a few minutes, everything will be, it's all clear. He says, sir, we have a question. What is that? Can we get married in heaven since we miss marrying? He says, please wait, I will check up. So he goes and these people are waiting and waiting and waiting. He comes back after 3 months. And when they are waiting, they are getting some doubts. What if a marriage doesn't work out? I mean, just because we are in heaven doesn't guarantee marriage can work out. Marriage is a phenomenon on earth, no? And on earth it doesn't work out. So if we get here also it may not work out. So then we will be stuck with each other for eternity. So we have to see before we get married whether the possibility of divorce is also there. Correct, hai na? Okay. So Saint Peter comes after 3 months, he is looking tired and this thing and all that thing. Yes, I have found a priest, you can get married. So the couple asks, yes, we are happy to that. But is there a possibility for divorce also? Saint Peter loses it. He throws down his papers and gets angry. And these people are shocked. How can Saint Peter be angry? He's supposed to be one of the kindest of saints. These idiots. It took me 3 months to find a priest. How long do you think I'll take to find a lawyer? All this I said is pratibhasikam, okay? Not functionally true. Okay. I mean, because look at it. Why I said all this is because we are imposing a lot of our worldly opinions on that. So in the presentation also it will be the same. It has to be, it can't be different. Now, but remember, it's a subtle creation. There is no physicality like how you have on earth. That type of physicality will not be there. That's why they are called higher dimensions, because they are more subtle dimensions. More subtle. Okay? Therefore, it will be more like, at higher dimensions, all be like, you don't need a physical body. Your enjoyment also will be at the mind level. Yeah. There will be an apparent body, and that body will be your idealized version of what you are now. So maybe a little bit taller, maybe a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit slimmer. It depends on what you want. What is your idealized concept of yourself? Yeah.
Swamiji, I had a curious question.
Yeah.
So how does time and space work there?
Yeah, it will have its own dimensions of time and space, which will be very different from this. The idea of multiple space time dimensions, comes into the picture. And that is in a way scientifically valid as well. I mean, science is just exploring the possibility of multiple dimensions, of multiple space and time. Because the space that we know is only one level of space. Another dimension means another time and space comes into the picture. That's why we have stories, na? When Indra went to Brahmaji to learn, he was asked to do seva for 32 years. Whereas here, if you want to join an ashram, a few months will be a maximum. Why don't waste your life? Their life extends, so it's okay. For Indra means whole kalpa is there. So that type of divisions will come in. Okay, another question, just to make you all think. Will there be a Hindu heaven, Muslim heaven, Christian heaven? A Shaivite heaven, a Vaishnavite heaven? Cannot be, na? If you really look at it, heaven has to be one for everyone. Your religion is your portal for entering heaven. Your religious practices, etc., are your portal for entering heaven. It's only your portal. Heaven is one. That's why all religions are valid forms of worship. Yeah, it's your portal for entering heaven. Why? All religions have to be based on universal ethics. Religious ethics has to be an enhancement of worldly ethics, of common sense ethics. If it's an enhancement, it is fine. If it is against human ethics, then you have to understand that either the person who presented did not understand or the followers did not understand. Like if you are saying you have to kill a non-believer to enter heaven, then obviously you have not understood the religion. Or the people who have presented it wrongly for various reasons. Because how can you? Universal ethics is don't kill people. Just because he holds a different belief from you, he has a right to his belief. You may not want to hold his belief. That's fine. That's why I don't want to convert you to my belief. So please leave me alone also. Because it is these aspects in religions which are man-made. that I have to kill somebody, I have to convert somebody, he is wrong, I am right. They're all valid forms of worship. You are worshipping, you are creating your own portal to enter heaven. That is it. But all of it has to be based on universal human ethics, which is universal, not cultural. Whether you wear a bindi or not is not the issue. That is cultural. No. How you worship is cultural, religious. You depending on your religion. But karma phala has to be universal. Can you say Hindus will have karma phala? A Jew will not have karma phala? Then the whole basis of him going to heaven is gone. Because he is going on the basis of good karma done. Yeah. Action and consequences. Even the confession, etc., is a mode to get rid of your guilt, not to get rid of the consequences of the action. Unless the priest gives you certain prayaschitta karma to do. Say 10 Hail Marys. There are 10 times you are repeating the prayer. Therefore, the bad karma that you have done is neutralized by the good karma you are doing now, by the prayaschitta karma you are doing now. All religions have it, not only Hinduism. In some way or the other. Some way or the other. Now don't come and tell me Hinduism is not a religion. It's a way of life. Some idiot said it and everyone is repeating it. Including one of the chief justices. He said the same thing. It's all, very limited view. Hinduism is a way of life, it's also a religion. Why? Because way of life, if it includes worship, then there is religion. If it includes an idea of God, religion. If it includes religious practice, it becomes religion. So it's both, it's a way of life and religion both. Why way of life? Because it's not confined to one day of the week or one time. It's right through, 24/7. Therefore, way of life. At the same time, religion, because understanding of God, practices, etc. are there. There's both. Okay. Call it Hinduism, call it Hindutva, call it Sanatana Dharma, call it Vedic, it's all the same. Okay. Yeah. To indicate the source, we have generally called it Vedic wisdom, etc. We are doing it because of that. Yeah. The source of it. Okay. So this is just to make you all think a little bit, okay? About when you say universal, what exactly you mean universal? When you say subjective, what is it that you mean subjective? Yeah. If you are a highly subjective person, then even in heaven you will not be happy. It will be like going on a great holiday and cribbing about the place. Like you go to Kedarnath now at this season and crib, it is cold. Hey, it is bound to be cold. Two people from the group has gone. Ramisha has gone and Kavita also has gone. She is attending the class from Rishikesh actually. How can you crib about the cold in Kedarnath when you are going in October? You can't crib about the cold. It is bound to be cold. That's why you are going to Kedarnath. One of the things is to get the atmosphere. Enjoy the cold. Yeah. I mean, why are you going to Kedarnath? Yeah. Otherwise, you will be like those groups that carry their cooks when they go to Kedarnath. Eat the local food and enjoy it. No, Swamiji, we are religious people. Vaishnav bhojan milega, fikar mat karo. No, but Swamiji, I am a non-vegetarian also. Once in a way, at least I want non-vegetarian. Don't worry, Rudraprayag army cantonment hai. There you will get non-vegetarian food. महाकाली के प्रसाद मिलेगा, गंगा जल भी मिलेगा. You know what is Ganga Jal, na? White liquid that gives you spiritual high. You get that also in Rudraprayag. What's your problem? Enjoy the local things. So similarly, when you go to this other dimension, you're going to enjoy the local stuff there. Whatever is available, you enjoy. Otherwise, there is no this thing. Okay? I'm digressing a bit, but it's important to recognize these things as part of the game that you have when you are going to dimensions. Okay. Evam sukshma sharira utpattihi. With this he says, the sukshma sharira has been covered. Therefore, karanam and sukshmam taken care of. Now what is remaining? The gross body, the physical creation. That means what? From the causal to the subtle to the gross now. Therefore, there has to be a process of grossification. You will find that reflected in your life as well. All things are created twice. All things are created twice. One in your mind as a concept, and then it has to be actualized outside. Okay. First creation is here in the mind. Only then it can be actualized outside. No? How else can it be actualized outside? Unless it comes here first. So similarly now the sukshma has been created. Now the gross. Alright. Stulani bhutani tu panchikritani. The stula gross element has to undergo a process of panchikaranam. Panchikaranam is an attempt at grossifying. See, it's all dialectical theory. Don't take too much into it, okay? A dialectical theory, as I said, can be replaced by a scientific one. Can be replaced by a scientific one, why not? The theory of creation is not cardinal to Vedanta. It is just to explain away what you see because your mind is caught up in that. So that we can make the shift from that into something more profound, something more higher. So the whole attempt is only that, nothing else. Okay? So keeping that in mind, we are saying, all right, Panchikaranam tu akashadi panche ekam dvida samam vibhajya. All right. Now, here is Panchikaranam. What is Panchikaranam? Akashadi pancham. 5 elements, 5 tanmatras. Akashadi. Panchabhutas, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. 5 of them. Each unit. Okay. Dvida samam vibhajya is split into 2 units now. Exact half. Samam meaning same. So, there is no bigger half, lesser half, okay? If it is bigger half or lesser half, it is not half. There can't be something like bigger half, lesser half, though we use it in colloquial conversations, okay? Half is half, 50%. What is bigger half then? Okay. Therefore, equally divided into 2. Teshu dashasu bhageshu. Now there are 10 units, each 2. All right. Then what happens? Prathamam prathamika panchabhaga pratyekam chaturda samam vibhajya. 1/2 remains the same as it is. So 5 remains as it is. The other 5 breaks up into 4 equal parts. That is 12.5%. 4 equal parts. Then what happens? Tesham chaturnam bhaganam swasva viditiya ardham bhaga parityagena bhagantareshu yojanam. What does it do? Now you have each unit 50% same, 50% divided into 4. So what does that 4 do? It gives up its bhaga and joins with the other ones. So one unit of Akasha will remain the same, other will join Agni, Vayu, Apa, Prithvi. One unit of Vayu will remain the same, the other 4 will join Akasha, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. Like this, all the 5 will join. Now what do you have? Now you have Akashadi, 5 bhutas, 50% Akasha, 50% Vayu, 50% Agni, 50%. 50% made up of other things. So Akasha is 50% Vayu. 50%, Akasha is 50% Akasha. 50% will be Vayu, Apaha, Agni, Prithvi. So this is it. Don't ask me how the combination takes place. Okay, this is a theory, as I said. Okay. Taduktam dvida vidhavo cha ekekam chaturda pratamam punaha swasvetri aditya shaurya jana panchate. Okay. He is quoting from Panchadashi to say all other teachers also accepted this theory. Okay. Asya apramanyam na shankaniyam trivat karna shrutehe panchikarnasya api upalakshanatvat. He says don't doubt the pramanam of it, because in the Upanishad a trivat karnam is being mentioned. Okay, the Upanishad has mentioned it, therefore we also will accept it. Okay. Panchanam panchatmakattvena samanepi teshu cha vaisheshatya tadvadaha iti nyaya koshadi vyapadesha sambhavati. Now, even though these 5 now have been mixed up, because they are predominantly 50% of their own, they are called the same Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. So you have Tanmatras, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Prithvi, and you have Panchikrita, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. Are you getting this? Or is it confusing? Take a book of Tattva Bodha, there you will find some books have diagrams about it. Okay. Or, as homework, those who are confused, draw 5 units, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi. Draw a line splitting them, and then with one Akasha join the other 4, and then you will get a picture. This is how it looks like. Okay. Otherwise do it here. It's all meant to be done here. Okay. Yeah. Correct? Now, is this much clear? The process of Panchikarnam leaves you with the combined elements. Now, because of the combination, they are grosser than the pure ones. That's why the pure ones are called Tanmatras, Tadmatram, only that. Tanmatras means only that. So, Akasha is only Akasha, Vayu is only Vayu. Whereas after Panchikarnam, it is the Tanmatras have been mixed up. They are predominantly Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, Prithvi, but they are mixed up with other elements also, therefore grossified. It's a theory, that's all. Okay? But it's a working theory, okay? Don't say the theory and dismiss it. I told you all before, the whole system of medicine is based on it. And the system of medicine works. Whole Ayurveda is based on it. Medical Qigong is based on this. All Oriental treatment systems, all Oriental traditional treatment systems are based on this. Because it can be clearly traced back. The Western traditional systems do not exist because either they have been swallowed up by Christianity or Islam. Therefore, now only modern medicine exists in these places. Because all traditional systems were destroyed. In the Far East, it survived. And you have the connections also. It may have been there in Western religions also, we don't know. Because wherever there is a feudal society and warfare, there will also be treatment and taking care of wounds and things like that. Therefore, medicine will also develop. Wherever there is war, medicine will develop. Can't avoid that. Okay. Okay, Vaishesha, na tadvada tadvada. So they are called the same. Then tadanim akashe shabda abhivijyate vayo shabdasya sparsha agnau shabda sparsha. Okay, let us go word by word. And then what will manifest? Akasha will manifest, as you say, only sound. Now, this is a peculiarity. Because we say sound cannot travel in a vacuum. Okay? Now, the sound that we are talking about is not just the physical sound, it is also the low grade vibration that we find across the universe, scientifically measured. That is what is being referred to here as Akasha will manifest sound. Okay. Abhivejyate. Vayo shabda sparshau. Vayu, air, will have sound as well as touch. Agnau sabda sharpa rupani. Fire will have sound, touch, form as well. Rupam, color, etc. Water will have shabda sparsha rupa rasaha. Sound, touch, form, taste. Prithiviyam. Prithvi will have shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandhascha. You'll add smell to it. Then anything that you smell will require prithvi amsha. Fine particles are necessary for the sense of smell. So, this forms the base of your physical creation. Okay? You have the 5 elements, the grossified version, which manifests certain qualities. Okay? Akasha will accommodate space, it will give accommodation to everyone. Then sound, this, that, each one has. Why have they been put as 5? Because that is how your Sukshma Sharira is. You have 5 sense organs. If you have 5 sense organs, you will perceive the world only in a 5-fold manner. If you had a 6 sense organs, you will perceive the world in a 6-fold manner. Supposing you had a 6th sense organ. What is the 6th sense organ? Now you have to use your imagination. Let us say you can see pressure. So when you push something, pressure is applied. You can see it, how much pressure. Or you can understand it by some sense organ. Some sense organ, you knew one now. Pressure can be understood. To some extent, pressure can be understood by your skin. So let us call this sense organ skin 2 or skin P. Okay. Then you will, when someone pushes, you will say 20 pounds of pressure. You can see it, like how you get the feel of the air, you can get the feel of the pressure also. If you had it. If you had it. Or you can see time. Okay, I think there is some problem with the connection, etc. Therefore, this is a good place to call it a day. We will meet again next week. Om Tat Sat.